All right. And that's how you begin modeling that area or putting in the surfaces. And then we're going to generate, or you're going to generate, your building and your pavilion anywhere in here. And you can treat this as one single space, one single piece of property, because we're combining them. That line is just there for reference. And again, to highlight property lines. Any questions on that? Yes, no? All right. So let me do this. Let me get you a little geeked up, I hope, on what to do in terms of pavilions and things like that. And I think I'm going to practice on this drawing file, or this Rhino file. So let me go ahead and do a file save. I want to show you something. Actually, let me go over here. Let me see if I have it. Open. Okay. Yeah. Was it that one? Yes. Let me just open this one for a second. I want to zoom in over here. I just wanted to show you what I did in terms of when I was thinking about pavilions and what I could do. What do you think of that shape? Of that design? Not bad, huh? What about this one? Sorry? What did I do? And that's what I want to show you today, to get you thinking about it. So I'll go back to my file. I'll open up my city block. And I know earlier, one of you asked me, it's like, hey, what about my units? What about, distances, lengths, and all that? I wasn't concerned with it, but now I probably should be focusing on it a little bit more. Yeah, maybe. All right. So I'm going to practice over here on the side for a second, like this. And I'm going to start by generating, first of all, a surface. No, let me do this instead. Hang on a second. How do I want to do this? Okay, we'll get fancy. I'll start with a surface first. Rectangular. And I will go from, let's say, this corner, and now it says other corner or length. Let's say I want my pavilion to be 30 feet in length or width. So I type in 30 feet, enter. And then width, press enter to use the same length. Let's say I want to go with 60 feet. So I type in 60 feet and enter. By the way, it's on my grass layers. Let me just change that for a second. Select it, and I'll just use layer 2 for now. Change object layer. There we go, for now. And I don't want the object, I don't want it to be facing that way. I want to rotate it, so that's fine. I'll just click on the blue curve arc there, one click, and just type in 90. It's a 90-degree rotation. There we go. All right, so I'm going to keep that right there. And now what I'm going to do is make a copy of it. So I'm going to select it and copy it from here over there. That's it. Now I want to give this a really nice shape. You remember what I did the last time? How I got there? How I generated or how I modified this surface to something else? Y'all remember what I did? Nobody remembers? What did I do? What was that command I used? Sorry? Well, I got the gumball on. Sorry? Close. Come on, come on. Something with points, right? Oh, long weekend, huh? All right, remember I went to view? Was it view? Or was it edit? Edit, control points on. How did I add more control points? Maybe, but what was that other command I used? And you're right, I didn't show this to you, but you're right, right? I could insert control points, or at least I can try, select the surface. And this is one way to drop them in. And yes, I can put it on the midpoint there. Right now, the direction, by the way, is going one way, and I'd like to go in the opposite direction. Remember, I mentioned this in passing. Direction U versus direction V. So I can go to direction U, click on that. And now I can change it to direction V, enter. And now it's going to give it to me in the other way. You see that? There we go. So that's one way to add more points. Yes, you're right. What was the other way? Should we play Hangman? Start guessing. What did I do? Hang on. I'm gonna copy that object this way. What did I do? What did I do to add more points? Starts with an R. Wow, nobody took notes? All right, I'm just gonna sit back until I get some good guesses. And if we have to stay till 7 p.m. tonight, we will. Sound good? What was the command I used? Who's got their notes handy? Or are all of you focused on drawing those surfaces? Is that what you're doing? Nobody's got answers for me? Thank you. Rebuild. Yes. So I select the surface, rebuild it, enter, and I'll keep this to a few set of numbers for now, just so I can show you what's going to happen here. So I'll leave it there. Let's see. Can I bump it up to 5 and then maybe 3? Is that going to work? Do I want that? Do I want this? Do I want this? All right, let's leave it there. All right, just dropping in points. Click OK. So now I have a lot of points on here. And then from here, what I was able to do, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go back to the top view, zoom this out, come over here, focus on this. And I'm just going to select all of the lines, or all of the points here like that. Highlights them for me, switch back to my perspective view. And now I'd like to raise them. Now, I'm not saying my pavilion is sitting on the ground. I may want to build this up. So how tall do I want this to go? How much of a curve do I want on this? That's something for all of you to decide. I'm just going to click on this arrow right now and say, raise it by, I don't know, let's say 6 feet, just for the heck of it. So now it's raised at 6 feet there. So I get this shape. By the way, let me highlight it. And then when I orbit, I'm orbiting around it. All right, but I want to get a little fancier with that. So I'll go back to my top view now. And I think I want to pick all 4 points here. And I think I'd like to raise those. Hang on, I got to change this. There we go. Click on the blue arrow. I want to raise that by 2 feet. So now I get this interesting shape. A little bit of a bulge there, yeah? In the middle, just ever so slightly. Yes? No? All right. So now that I have that, let me go ahead and just delete this one. And I want to still keep that one on the side because it's going to come in handy. All right. So I'm orbiting. Okay. So what I showed you before, by the way, let me go to edit, control points, and let's turn them off. I don't want to see them anymore. All right. What I'd like to do is actually generate a really nice design that I can then use this tool with, or this command with, which is, sorry, where'd it go? Flow along surface. It's a really nice one. Let me keep it real simple for now. Watch this. If I decide I want to draw a box, and I'm just going to draw a box from here, take it over this way, it's lining up. Let's see, other corner or base length. Well, first of all, how long was my rectangle here? I'm looking at my command line, or I'm looking at the information there. I can't quite tell. Let me escape. Let me just do an analyze here. Distance from this point to that point. Oh, that was 30 feet. All right, let me try drawing this. Started here. Other corner or base length, I'll try 30 feet. Oh, and it went in the opposite direction. Hang on a second. Let me start over. From here. Okay. I think I'll just line it up there, bring it over, and I'll just make it about that wide. I'm eyeballing, but I could be exact. I'm just trying to avoid that right now. So I'll click right there. And then I want to take it up. And in this case, maybe I just want to go up 2 feet like that. So that's the shape I've generated. And I'm still on that layer. Let me switch off, make this layer current, take this, put it on the right layer. All right. Now, what I'd like to do is take this object and repeat it, copy it. Now, the total length I have, I want to check my distance from this endpoint all the way over there. And that's 60 feet. I just want to copy that thing over. Let's see if I allow it to repeat, and I didn't make this an exact length, which I probably should have been a little bit more exact. But here, I don't want to get caught up in the details. I'll let you fine tune that. What I'd like to do right now is copy this. 1 second. Copy that object from this point over that way, point to copy to, and the distance there, how about I make it, how far are you taking me right now? 5'6". Let me make it 6 feet. And click. All right, now I'm going to tap the escape key. I'm doing this very old school. Pick that one, copy from this endpoint to that endpoint to that endpoint, just to keep it consistent. Could have used the array, but this is fine. All right.
Did you show an example of the array? I have a hard time looking with that spacing and then the number of objects.
I actually start with a grid and kind of full on the grid. I'll try it in a second as soon as I'm done here with this. Okay, let me do the following now. And let me take this object and bring it a little bit closer here. All right, so my goal right now is to have all of these solids flow along the surface of, flow along that surface. So here we go. I'm going to click on flow along surface. And now it says select objects to flow along the surface. I probably should have grouped these. You know what? Let me group them first. 1 second. It'll be easier if I window all of them like this without picking the surface underneath. You see that? Okay. I'll group it. So group it is. All right. Now when I pick one, picks them all. Okay. Flowing along the surface. Select objects to flow along surface right here. Done. And enter when done. Done. Got it. Base surface. Select edge near corner. The base surface is the one sitting right underneath. So I'm going to try and click on it. It's going to be hard to click in this area. So I'm actually going to orbit around a little bit like this. And I will pick it right here. Sorry, I'm zooming in too close. All right. Base surface, select edge near corner. Right here, click. Got it. Right away, it tells me target surface, select edge near matching corner. And here's where you have to be really careful, and you have to pick in about the same location near that same corner. I'm going to click right there like this. Done. And did you see what happened? Oh, that you're impressed with?
Yeah, that was impressive.
That was cool, wasn't it? So I'm going to take that and move it over, and I just have myself a structure, and all I need to do now is maybe add some columns and really fix it. Or maybe as I look at it, I go, I could do something really interesting with that design, maybe widen it or shorten it. So here, let me come back over here for a second. I'm going to take all of these and I'm going to ungroup. I'm not going to do it all. just going to do this ungroup here with all of you. And let's say I take this one, right? Let me just move it off to the side or copy it here. But it doesn't have to be just that simple of a shape. As I showed you before, I can take this shape, I can pick this edge like that, holding down Control Shift, and I can just bring it down a little bit. And now what would happen if I did that and let that flow or follow that shape? That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be. Or, and this is where we start to get really sophisticated with Rhino. Okay, maybe I want a shape. Here we go. That does this. And I got to be careful. Let's say I want to start with a circle. And I start my circle here. And I notice that it wants to lay flat. But I want to turn around and look at this from maybe the front side. So let me double click perspective here, right? And you see where it's from the top, it's doing that. But then from the right side, look at what it's going to generate there. Or if I go to the front view, and this is really what I want. I actually want to create a circle right here, and I'm zooming in as I get closer. And the radius on that, or diameter, yeah, the diameter, I don't want the diameter to be more than maybe a foot. So I type in 1 foot, enter. That's the circle. Now, if I go back to my perspective view, I've got the circle in place right where I want it. And what was the length of this? 30 feet, right? So let's say I do a copy of this circle, enter, and I copy it over 30 feet. Like that. What was that command I showed you a while back where you can actually take these two and create a solid connecting both of them? Not extrude, not cap. I believe it was loft, wasn't it? So if I do loft, select curves aloft, right? This one, that one, enter. And it's going to loft it that way. Sure, easy enough. Let me hit the escape key. That's too easy, and I could have done a cylinder. If I do a copy, hang on, copy. I keep doing my AutoCAD commands. This one, and I take it half the distance of 30 feet, and I go 15 feet, right? In that direction. Got it. Escape. But now I take that circle, and I'm going to zoom in here for a moment. And I'd like to just make it a little bit smaller. And I'm just eyeballing it now. And I'm going to pick this, and that'll change it in one direction. But if I hold down my shift key, now I can bring it in, constrain it both sides. I'll make it that big. All right. I just made it. I don't know what size it was. I can, and I'm not trying to be perfect now. I could have very easily gone to, what was it, my front view? Yeah, right here. Right. And I could have really manipulated that or drawn it from scratch. But I'm all right with the way it is now. And now if I choose loft, this object, that object, that out. And hang on, I'm going to do this again. Loft, because I need to make sure that I pick at the same lower point, right there, right there, right there. Otherwise, it may not work. And that's fine. The style, right? I can change it, loosen it up, tighten it up, a straight set. I mean, all sorts of stuff. But I'll leave it at normal and then click OK. Done. Now that I've got that, I'm just going to take this out of the way. Actually, I don't need to take that out of the way. I want to take all of these out of the way. And I don't know why I'm picking them all one at a time, but that's all right. Now, the trick here is that you do need to place the objects along on that surface so that it matches up. So I can take this now and I can type move like this. And I want to move it from that center point. So let me turn on center. Found the center. Great. And I want to put it right there. And now what I'd like to do is take that and let's try the array command. All right, there's array. Select object to array, this one, enter. Number in X direction. Here's where I can't remember which way X and Y is. I got to zoom out a little bit. And I believe X is going to take me in that direction. So I'll try number in this direction. Let's go 10. Number in Y direction, I don't want any in Y, so I'll leave it at 1. 1 in the Z direction also. And now X spacing or first reference point, I guess what I want the X spacing to be, let's make it every 5 feet. There we go. Now, it looks like it's giving me an option to actually add more along the X. So I had it at 10, but now I think I want to bump that number up to maybe 15. I've exceeded, I don't care. I'll enter, done. I take this one, delete, take that one, delete, right? Now I can select my objects. It's easier for me to group them now. So I'm going to group all of these. If I can pick them, it's also picking that extra one. So I want to deselect that one. So I hold down Control to deselect. Control deselects. I have that group. Done. Okay. Now let's try putting that onto the surface. So here we go. Flow along surface. And there's your command line. So we're going to flow it, select the objects. I pick this object. Enter. Base surface. Okay, I'll pick this edge right here. Click on it. Target surface. I will pick that corner. Got to pick the right corner. Done. So it flows along that. Pretty cool, huh? And that's just using objects going in one direction. And move this out of the way. There's nothing stopping me from actually generating some kind of a lattice if I wanted to. For example, here, let's take this, pull it out of the way. And in here now, let me go ahead and maybe draw a rectangle because that might be easier. And if I draw the rectangle, I start here. How big do I want to make it? Let's say I want to make a rectangle that's 5 feet by 5 feet. Done. All right, didn't exactly put it where I want it, but that's okay because I can go ahead and pick it and move it. And move it from here to there, right? And then I can go ahead and extrude that. I'll actually just click right here, and I want to take it up maybe 6 inches, like that, and enter. Yikes, what did I do? Okay. And I guess I should cap it. There we go. Now it's capped. By the way, if the color's throwing you off a little bit, let me go ahead and take that one, drop it onto layer 5. There. So maybe this is what I'd like to do. And maybe I want to put an opening in it. I mean, all sorts of things I could do, but let me take this and let me try, if I do the array, this is going to get a little tricky. Hang on, let me take that and copy. So I want to copy it from this corner over to that corner. If I array that, is that going to do it? Because that is the pattern. All right, let me try this. Take both of those. I selected them, group them. Now let me try to array this because I know it's in a 10 by 10 field. So I take that, array, number in the X direction. 15 might be too many. Maybe I just need 10 at this point. Number in the Y direction, maybe 3. Nothing in the Z, so keep that at 1. Unit cell or X spacing. Here's where it can get a little difficult to manage, but watch this. I can pick this point, and now look at that. It's ready to spread it out for me, and I just want to make sure I pick that point right there. You see that? Mm-hmm. All right, so I pick it right there. Sorry. There we go. That's my pattern, and I overshot it, and that's all right. Oh yeah, let me enter. I guess I could. All right. Yeah, enter. That's fine. It's just going to be quicker for me to just come over here and delete these like that. I don't need them. There we go. And now what I'd like to do is pick all of these and group that. Make a group of a group. Sure. And then one last shot. But this time I want to take this object, edit, control points on. And I want to manipulate this a little bit more. Maybe what I'd like to do is take this point and this point, surface point, yeah. and I'm holding down shift, by the way, to pick. I want to take those and just kind of raise them up a little bit more like that. That's my wild shape. And maybe this is going to be the entrance over here. I'm getting a little carried away, but bear with me for a second. This point and this point. I picked those two, and I'd like to take those up. Let's take it up a height of 5 feet, for lack of a better. Okay, there we go. Done. Edit, control points off. By the way, I would use my function keys, but I don't have them set up right. I don't want to create problems. All right, here we go. Flow along surface. Select objects to flow right there, enter. Base, surface, select edge near corner. I'll pick this edge here. And now I pick the same edge over on this side. That's the shape I get. I now can pick it and just kind of move it out of the way. It looks like I accidentally selected that circle as part of my group. And that's all right. It's my mistake. But check out the shape that you end up getting. It's wild. It's cool. It's neat, you know.